Here we go. We're live, Mel.
It's
Hi,
happening.
everybody. My name is Lada Below, and I'm the teacher of Radiant Yin Masterclass and Radiant Yin workshops. And I have Melissa with me here. Hi, Mel.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me, Lada.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit and maybe your background?
Sure. My name's Melissa Bullock, and I've been deep diving on my spiritual path for about 20 years now, consciously, right? I mean, we're always on it. And the last 5 years have been really transformative. I did clairvoyant training and a year of the advanced masterclass that we'll be talking about today, and also some different energy tools, trainings. And I also teach Kundalini yoga, teach meditation, and love helping women awaken and empower and just claim more freedom. So, yeah,
Awesome. Thank you.
sums it up.
Thank you, Mel. And just so you know, so this is all live. We didn't rehearse anything. We just grounded it and set the energy because, I was trying to create an invitation for the next masterclass and I just really dislike like talking to the camera and just trying to fit it all in. So I thought because Mel, she graduated from the last Radiant in Masterclass, the 1 year training, and she's going to be assisting in this new one. So I thought we can just kind of meet and chat about the female work and how it benefits us and what brought us to it. So for me, I've done many years of female work and programs and workshops, and I really loved it, and it really brought me actually here. However, I was never particularly validated by it. It was almost like it was like a code that I'm gonna put on. It wasn't really something that I felt is like in me and I really have it. And so as I kept working energy and I started making all these tools my own and really the clairvoyant work, that's when I started realizing, oh, it for me it was never thought from the feminine essence. They were female tools taught from a masculine essence and a very patriarchal kind of point of view. So that was the reason why I started teaching female workshops and then later started the female masterclass. And I'm obviously on the way myself every day, like we all are. Um, and how was it for you, Mel? What brought you to the female work and later the female
Yeah,
masterclass?
I love what you said about you were not validated because I think that was what brought me to the female work so deeply. But I was doing a year-long intuitive training program where we met. And I remember when I first connected with you and you had referred me to the workshop. And it was just so transformative to be in a group of women working energy. And at that same time, I was going really deep in the intuitive training, just maybe died about 3 to 4 thousand times in that training. It was so intense, amazing, magical, but so intense. And at the time, I had a lot of male teachers and I had a lot of amazing experiences with them, but I also had a lot of not amazing experiences with them. And as a woman in a female body in a lot of spiritual communities, our experiences are often very invalidated. And it's those men, is you even if they have amazing intentions, they are not in female bodies. So what they're teaching, what they've learned is often from men to men and
Mhm.
taught to women. And so there of course gifts in all of these spaces, but there were often so many times where I felt really restricted, like I shouldn't be
Oh, Mel, you're
speaking.
talking about shouldn't be speaking and we stopped hearing you. That was just amazing. So say it again.
Oh, that's hilarious. Come on, technology, okay, I'm gonna ground the tech. There were times where I felt like I couldn't speak. There were times where I struggled so hard to say things, and there were times where my body would feel extremely unsafe. And I always kind of internalized it and kind of took it on and like, this must be me. This must be energy I have to work through. This must be my pictures, my programming, my. And then I remember the more I started doing female work, especially when we started the female master class, it was like, oh, okay. You could just feel safety to show up, to be where I'm at, to work through where I'm at. There was this total freedom to speak out about things that were often not allowed to speak about, allowed in the world. And I realized, oh, this was actually not me. This was the way space was held.
Yeah.
This was the way, you know, these were maybe limits of the teachers. These were maybe programs that were set and different agreements that were maybe unspoken. And the more I work that energy in the masterclass, the more I just can speak out about things that are really hard to talk about. And sometimes it just comes through me and it's like I'm exploding and it just needs to be said. And so just so much more empowerment, so much more freedom, and working through all that crap that says that women need to compete to have space. Women need to compete, that there's not enough abundance and love and space for all of us. And so unpeeling that in a group of women was just so powerful.
Totally. I thank you for sharing that because I would say sometimes the space is held from competition. So it's the teachers in competition with the student, right? There isn't that understanding that it's more about guidance, right? It is health, the healthy leadership is about guidance and boundaries and holding safe space, but it's always the student who is doing the work. And it's yeah, I myself was trained in a female center where most teachers were women, and yet the competition was very much there. It was because there was that kind of idea how to hold space. And also, I would say for me, and I know it's true for you, we've often understood spirituality only in a very disconnected yin way, right? So it's the yin, it's the consciousness, it's above, it's beyond, it's out there, it's not in here, it's something to achieve somewhere. And for me, where really spirituality started making complete space was, well, it's here. Like I need to bring it in here, which means I need to clear everything that's preventing me to be fully myself, all those old conditionings and programs. And, for us women, we have an extra package of programmings and pictures that men simply do not have because they
Yeah.
were born in patriarchy in a male body, right? This is just something to really understand. And so in that case, there doesn't need to be competition in a space because the space is being held to work all these kind of energies. And as you say, in a group of women. Um,
Yeah.
so that's something I would like to maybe point out where this is different because this is a clairvoyant class. However, we work a lot with the body. So that's just the way I teach. I really work a lot with the body. We work what's also in the body. We work with feelings. Yes, emotions. Emotions are very much allowed in these classes. And
Yeah.
speaking our truth, speaking, voice sharing. I'd say that's something very important for women to be able to speak out without being judged. And also we keep clearing that energy. So it's not, oh, we're gonna speak up and create toxicity and then just leave it here, but we're actually clearing it out of our spaces. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, that was so huge, the embodied part. That I would say embodiment is such a huge part of my purpose. And okay, let's bring our spirituality into our bodies. Let's actually live it. And that was another piece that I found in this training that I didn't always find in other trainings is, yeah, let's come into our bodies. Let's work these energies. Let's ground. Let's sometimes you have us get up and we shake our bodies, we move our bodies, it's so great to have both. Let's say hello to our spirits.
Mhm.
Let's say hello to that energetic part of our being, and let's also bring it into our bodies and ground it and live what we're learning. Bring it into our daily lives. Um, one thing that was coming up as you were talking to is sometimes in different spaces there's this energy of like don't see this. Like
Mhm.
there's just things that are just off the table. And I never felt that in this training. It was like, hey, we're here to look at all of this. We're on the path together. I'm going to own what's mine. You're going to own what's yours. We're not going to dump it on anybody. But there's nothing was off limits. It's like, see what you see and let's work it together. And I really could feel that in my body, this
Yeah.
permission.
That's awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
'Cause
there were no
that's my
veils.
purpose. My purpose is here. Let's look at it. Let's get free. No, thank you. And also, when you were Mel talking, I was, also that there's this, let's say we know so much about the yin, the masculine spirituality, right? But the awakening is happening through awakening of a goddess, right? So women, we have so much information that's coming through women or people who have healthy, strong feminine side. And this information is needed for the healing of all of us and the whole planet. And also part of what we're doing in the classes is clearing that female programming of competition, comparison. uh, what I find very interesting is that we are in the 21st century, and yet I see most women running energy like in 1800s, not even 1900s, right? Because we can have all these freedoms, but unless we clear all the limits out of our spaces, we can't even use them. Um, and there's this great
Yeah.
example about hair, right? Like classic female program, woman has to have long hair. And as Mel graduated, she was like, I'm finally cutting my hair. So there are all these pictures about femininity, right? And that's what we're busting. We're really busting also what are the pictures and really getting to the core of your female energy. Like you were born with female body for a reason. You chose it. This is your path. And fully occupying your body with your energy creates the space of full freedom and creation through our own truth and not other people's. Yeah.
Yeah, it helped me peel all the shoulds, all the expectations. There was so much I was holding, and I'm still going to be unpeeling this, right? This is a lifelong journey, but there was so much I was holding from my parents and
Yeah.
their parents and all my ancestors and all of my past lives. And just, I mean, holy crap, you come into these bodies and it's like there is a lot to look at. And and with each layer, it was like, oh, that wasn't mine. It just more letting go of what was never yours. I feel like so much of what we struggle with, so much of what limits us was never even ours to begin with. And so
Totally.
it's so powerful to say hello to that and to let it go. And yeah, even as simple as the haircut, it took me like 6 months to work that energy to chop my hair because I was like, oh, the partner or oh,
Uh,
the family. And it was ridiculous. And I kept saying, oh, no, like older women have permission to have short hair, right? Or like younger women have permission to do this. And
mhm.
I even talked about that with my partner the other night. I have a belly button ring that I've had forever ago, and I took it out when I hit a certain age because I was told like you're too old for that. And he even
Aw.
brought it up very kindly, and he's not at all running that patriarchy energy, but I was like, did you just say I'm too old for that? I was like, we're not doing that because that's just more limits, right? It's my body and it's my age and I
Mhm.
get to express myself however I want to. But there's just so much to unpeel with that.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
so much to look at and be like, huh, is this actually true for me?
Mhm.
And let that the next woman have that same space to make that call
Yeah.
for her. And another thing that was coming up when you were talking too is yes, it's about honoring femininity, it's about
Okay,
yin,
Mel,
but you're
again, sorry, it just is
oh,
doing.
that's hilarious. Okay,
I'm
sorry.
finding it. Please talk.
I'll grab my energy. I get passionate and I
I
get
don't
good
think this
passionate.
is you.
Darn it. Beans, yeah. Um, we honor our femininity and our yin in this space, but you're also really wonderful at bringing in the yang and bringing in the masculine. And it's never like this is better and this is not. It's just honoring a part of ourselves that is often not honored in our world.
Yes, yeah. So this is thank you for bringing it up because when I was starting the first round, and even when I was studying Radiant in workshops, some of the pictures from my colleagues, men and women, I was thrown at was, well, what about the masculine? Or are you going to create more competition? I'm like, no, I never saw it that way. And what I found is I kept healing the feminine. My masculine started healing, and their relationship inside of me started healing, and then the external relationship started healing. And I was like, oh, because they are connected. We looked at them separately, but if you truly deeply heal one, you gotta keep healing the other. They just come together. And we live in a society of very unhealthy yin, right? Very unhealthy yin energy, all the pushing and achieving and uh, over planning and never stopping and grinding. That's very unhealthy yin anyway. That's not a healthy yin energy. Um, so that's another thing that brings me to a lot of women have a lot of physical problems with their female space, and that is a symptom and then a result of that unhealthy yin lifestyle. And for men, it's not healthy either, but because they have different kind of body, and this society was created by men for men, um, there is more tolerance in a male body, but in female bodies, there is not a tolerance to live this way for a long time. So we're gonna get sick, and women are getting sick. For me, what was shocking when I moved to America, how many women of my age already have partial or full hysterectomy. That's something I do not know, and I lived in other 4 or 5 countries. I've never
Wow.
seen this. And so I started looking at the energetics, and in the beginning, I came here and I matched it, and I was like, "Oh, I got to make $1 million," and I was like, "This is not my true. What is this?" And I started clearing all that, and just unplugging. I'm like, "Oh, that's the programming, and it's being glorified." And then women are getting sick, unhappy, unfulfilled. So part of this class is to be able to recognize these energies, find seniority, clear those pictures so you can actually start creating a lifestyle for yourself that validates you, that validates your spirit and your body. Yeah.
Yeah. That's been my experience as well with the internal healing of the feminine and the masculine. And then it of course overflows into the feminine and masculine relationships I have externally and bringing in more healthy relationships and letting go of unhealthy relationships. And I've definitely done a lot of that with that go go go, that unhealthy, that just so much effort and really like letting my body crumble in the name of success or in the name of doing. And there's still a lot there for me now too, of just in the career that I'm at and finding more alignment and not wanting to bring my energy to systems that are no longer aligned with my values, and seeing that we are meant to do things differently as women who are speaking up, as women who are leaders.
Mhm.
We're needing to shift things.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's
yeah.
yeah, you just totally said it beautifully. And um also like one thing that I want to mention and we talked about with Mel before we started was there's a lot of energy around female work. Believe it or not, even if you've already done clairvoyant trainings and everything, because that's a level of a huge power. Women are massively powerful. So when you start grounding and owning that space, which is what we're really doing in this work, you access a new level of your power. And Mel had an amazing experience last year. So Mel was from the beginning signed up. It's just like, I'm there, this is happening. And I saw her spirit so much in alignment. And she was already doing so the workshops and everything. And then when I send out this invite with a little meditation, I got a text from her, Lada, I'm totally shocked, but it doesn't seem like this course is in alignment with me. Do you want to tell us the rest of the story?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, part of that was I was doing too many damn things. I was on in that energy of like, I need to do all the trainings and I need to do them now. And, it just, and then, I would get stuck in lack and scarcity and like, can I afford it type thing. But like my body was cooked in a lot of ways. I needed to pull back my energy. And in one of the trainings I'd been doing for 2 years, that just was more out of body and beautiful, but no longer in alignment. Like I was called to the female work, I was called to the in-body work, but I was hitting so much energy. And I had to kick a lot of male teachers out of my space. Like they just would not get out of my space. There were all of their limits, all of their programmings, and that took a while to really claim my space. And then it was just so clear. And can we cuss on here? Are you
Yeah,
down for that?
sure. Go
Okay.
for it.
And I wrote her, I don't know if it was a text message or an email, and it was like, fuck. And it was like maybe like 20 U's in it. And I was like, I'm in. I'm in. And and like during the time she'd be like, okay, well, I'll just have you help with the trades or I'll have you help with this. And she was like just waiting, just like giving me space to work through my shit, but totally just waiting for me to work through that energy.
Yeah.
And I know, I had worked through a lot of energy even to start the workshops, to start certain female trainings. There's a lot. So I mean, my guidance would be, if there's a lot in your body, um, that's also a lot to clear, and that's also your creativity, your sexuality, your power. There's a lot of layers
Yeah.
in that, and I had to work on that for sure to get out, to claim my space, to see what was true for me,
Yeah.
and to
Yeah.
really listen to my body.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you for sharing that because it brings me back to when I was starting the female classes. And I remember actually it was my male teacher who was like, it looks like, and he was a gay male teacher. Other male teachers wouldn't mentioning even the female word. But my gay male teacher was like, it looks like the female training would be really good for you, you know? And there was like part of me that was so disconnected from my female body that it didn't even ring like what it's something extra, like this female work, it's something extra. I almost looked at it as something like, I don't know how to say it, you know? And then I started doing it and I realized this is nothing extra. If you're born a female, this is the work. This is the work. It needs to happen here, all of it, and clearing all that and the patriarchal programmings and all the pain of our ancestors and not having free will, not being able to do anything. We were property of men until very recently. And unfortunately, a lot of women still live that way. And that's why this big calling of mine is like clear it and then make choices, right? We can create for ourselves. And in healthy relationships, anyway, there isn't the codependency, right? It's each person creates for themselves and then they create together. Um, yeah, and you got a wonderful mock-up during your
I
class.
did. I did. I left a really unhealthy marriage prior to doing all this work, and then I've kind of just unpeeled the levels of narcissistic abuse and all the ways that I was controlled and manipulated, and also forgiving myself, which I'm still working on, for allowing it, for settling, for staying, for not seeing so much of what is so clear now. But it took a while, and I dated a little bit, and I was just really clear. I want a partner I want an equal. I want somebody who sees me as an equal, a healthy, conscious man who is doing his work and will let me do my work, and we can grow together and individually. And it's beautiful, the level of healing as a healthy feminine when space is held for me by a healthy masculine, and just to see each other in that way, it's beautiful. And part of that was I had to unpeel these like dirty trauma glasses that I was wearing from seeing healthy, beautiful men through the lenses of how I saw men that have deeply mistreated me. And as women, that's like a daily thing where the way we're treated and disrespected. And I think both genders are doing some major healing. And this isn't about all men are bad or all women are amazing. It's just I had to unpeel what was there for me to really actually see the healthy men in my life
Mhm.
and honor them.
Yes, that's it because you know toxic femininity attracts toxic masculinity, and we don't want to think about ourselves like, oh, I might have some toxic female energy. It's easier, right, to be like, oh, it's them, it's them.
Oh, absolutely.
And then as we start healing, it's like, oh, oh, I wasn't healthy, and hence I was attracted. So as we heal, we suddenly st started, and I didn't get my relationship mock up yet, but I'm surrounded by incredibly healthy and supportive men in my life. And it is because I had to face my toxic femininity, and that obviously was based on many other things. But yeah, um,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
definitely.
And I feel like, I'm sorry, Lotta.
No, go
I
ahead.
feel like this space really helped me own all of my crap.
Hmm.
And it helped me surround myself with people who call me out
Oh,
lovingly, respectfully.
love
But
it.
I want that from both
Yes,
genders, from all
yes.
genders, right? Hey, call me out, and also like have the um have the transparency to be open to that in yourself as well, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. That's beautiful. So, um, I was thinking maybe to guide all of you, and Mel can help to help space, um, through like a little meditation, just a few minutes. So I'm gonna invite you to close your eyes and kind of relax into your body a little bit. You can even shake your bellows a little bit and just kind of loosen up. Oh, and find that space behind your eyes in the center of your head and start claiming that space, you know, and imagine there's a throne there and you're the queen. You can really sit on that throne in the center of your head, your third eye, your center of clairvoyance and neutrality, amusement, if you let it. and just start occupying that space. And it was this beautiful word that got created during the last masterclass, which is queendom. And yeah, we're creating new language because it's true, it's a very patriarchal language. So we're creating new words. So, start kind of owning that idea of, well, okay, so I'm the queen of this body. I'm the queen of my space. And as an extension, I'm the queen of my life. And here there might already start coming in some energy, but am I? So I'm gonna invite you to create a rose just for your space, for your life, for your queendom. And just light up in that rose. How much of that rose, of that space, is taken by other people and their needs and their demands? And just breathe. And we're gonna light up some stuff and then we're gonna ground and release that energy. But I want you to kind of sit in it a little bit, right? Because we tend to avoid it. We tend to kind of look at these things. It's like, it's uncomfortable. I don't want to look at it. It's too much work. Let me go and buy something, wash dishes, text my friend, call my boyfriend, buy a new pair of shoes. I used to be that. I used to, let me buy a new pair of shoes. So
I
then,
totally bought new jeans today, Lana.
oh, but I'm sure you bought it from self-love. That's a difference.
Totally.
No?
With collective energy.
And then light up in there is how,
Oh,
how much does take you trying to like please others? How much of that space takes patriarchal programming? How much of that space takes invalidation of just your female space and being a woman and having a queendom and not a kingdom? And just breathe. And just within all that, how much space do you actually have to for you to create from your essence, to be fulfilled, to be happy? Yeah, just breathe and start feeling all that energy in your body. How much of your space is actually occupied? And we just said hello to only a few energies, and in this class, we go really deeper in different topics and subjects. How, where in your body do you feel shame? Shame occupies a lot. And if you were born in America, shame and guilt are very much part of what you need to clear. So each country has its specific loads, let's say. And I would say what I discovered about America is shame, guilt. So just notice how much of your space occupies shame and guilt. And if there's shame and guilt, we won't look there, right? So all the good stuff is underneath shame and guilt. I always say if there's shame and guilt, let's go there because there's going to be something really yummy underneath. So let's ground those bodies so we can start releasing some of that energy. So just from the center of your head, imagine that there's a root that's starting in your first chakra at the tailbone, a root chakra. Just imagine that that root is going down to the center of the planet, connecting you to her body, to her energy. And that's the feminine, that's the yin field, right? That's what's below, that's what's in mystery, that's what's thick, and that's what's been put in the shadows for a very long time. But that's where nurturing is, that's where safety is, that's where stability is. So say hello to that. And then energetically say hello to your left ovary. And even if you had hysterectomy, energetically, it's still there. It's a big energetical center. So you're going to work with that. And then imagine there is a root that's starting to shoot out and starting to go down to the center of the planet. And you're starting to ground your left ovary. Ah, notice how that feels in your body. So when we ground ovaries, they give us an outlet to release. So ovaries are kind of gathering energies and they're gathering them like little vacuum cleaners from space around us. You know, as women, we're balancers, we're healers. It's in our nature. We want to balance everything around us. So the ovaries kind of, they're ungrounded. They're like little vacuum cleaners. They keep like hoovering it out of your surrounding. And when you ground them, you can start releasing those energies. So let's say hello to the right ovary and imagine that there is a root coming down from there to the center of the planet. And when you start, first you release everybody else's energy, but then when those ovaries are being grounded, you can start releasing old energy from your body, old traumas. So then they become like sponges and they start pulling out all that old crap out of your body and energy system and release it down the earth if they're grounded. And then one more piece I like to ground is my uterus. So you can say hello energetically to your uterus. And again, imagine a root coming down from your uterus to the center of the planet. And breathe. And we kind of stirred up some energy here to looking at these things. And you might be, oh my God, I don't own my space at all. So just start releasing. Let go of a layer of that shame, layer of guilt. And if you are a mother, that's something we talk about. I'm not mother myself in this lifetime. I was mother many times before. But we have many mothers in our class, and there's a specific layer of mother guilt. It's always your fault because you're a mother. So give yourself permission to start releasing a layer of that. And there might be already an aha moment. Oh, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who thinks it's failing. And I don't need to hold on to it. I can release it. Yes, you can start releasing that. Let go of a layer of other people's energy and expectations. Just allow that grounding cord to kind of pull it out. And, we can call it a female grounding cord, but really, this is a grounding cord for a woman. If you are a woman, you want to be grounding that female space. It's so much energy. And it can be on our side or it can kind of be against us, right? We can pull out all these toxins from our environment, keep trauma in our body, and it's going to poison us from the inside. So let somebody go and breathe and just say hello to the energy moving in your body. And say hello to your yin, to your female energy. Kind of leaning a little bit back. Noticing also the back of your body, the back of your aura. Yeah, we're always about the yin field, right? What's ahead of us? Like, oh, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. The yin is what's behind us that we can root into. And then any yen action, anytime we actually do some action, we use our yen energy, the masculine, when it's rooted in the feminine, that's when it really has power. That's when you will have right timing because you're actually rooted in the yin. Yeah. And another layer, one more layer I'm gonna say hello to is that a lot of that female competition and wherever you were also hurt, not only by men, but also by women, which we all were, can start stirring up, right? If you had not a healthy relationship with your mother, if you had bad experiences with other women, you'll be like, heck no, I don't want to be in a class full of women. And I can tell you that used to be me too. Even the idea of having a female teacher, is she going to punish me as my mother? She did. Because those were my pictures to blow. So yeah, let go of one layer and maybe start becoming a little bit curious wow, what if I will be in a grounded space full of women that are here to work exactly this kind of energy? And they have the same mock-up. They want to be free, they want to be fulfilled, they want to have a healthy relationship with women and men. They want to create from their essence and not from information of others. So it can be kind of scary and uncomfortable, and I would say it was for all of us, but just notice if there is some enthusiasm or desire for this kind of work because these energies are lit up on earth. So this is a space to actually safely work them. There, if you have a female body, you're lit up as a Christmas tree. And as the energies are getting stronger, we're just lit up on things we gotta release. Take a deep breath and breathe out. Just let something go and imagine create a big golden sun above your head. That's your creative energy. That's your spiritual as energy directly from your higher self. No limits. This is who you are. Before you got programmed and told you can't have something, this is your juice. This is your essence. And then bring that golden sun inside of your body and start filling your body with that gold and give extra love, extra of that gold to your female space. Just start owning it. It's a very powerful space, right? There's a lot of energy there. And then let that gold kind of spill out through your skin to your aura around your body. And can blow up the rose that you were looking at and just own your queendom, my queendom. And then you can open your eyes. Oh, Mel, you have great lighting behind you. It's just,
Oh my gosh.
look at
Oh,
that. This is great. I kind of love it.
everyone, everyone. Don't came in. Ew.
And so last year, the prerequisite for this course was a graduated intuitive training, including erasure tools. But we were looking at it with Mel and talking about it, and I'm going to take that prerequisite away. So if you've done beginning clairvoyant program or any kind of equivalent of it, like 2 levels, or where's your space, you know how to blow the rose, you know how to fill yourself with gold, and um, then. You're absolutely welcome to join this training. If there is anything to be deprogrammed, I can always address it in energy checks or Mel. And so the structure of the class is 2 classes a month. Um, and we're going to be doing them on Thursday, 2 Thursdays. And we were just looking at the beginning date of July the 10th. And I like to keep these classes intimate, so they're not huge classes. So if you're interested, just email me if you're interested in any more details or anything. Obviously, the price point and everything will be in the email. So please contact me. And I'm very excited to have you, Mel, as
I'm
somebody
so excited.
who
So
graduated and
excited.
actually now is coming back as an assistant. That's super, super exciting. And plus, you also teaching. You have your own, yeah. And Mel, also, you're yoga teacher, correct?
Yeah, yeah, I teach Kundalini yoga and then some Hatha yoga, and I teach meditation as well, in
Nice.
addition to offering intuitive readings and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. These classes are very informal. Um, and I would say that's it. Is there anything else I need to say, Mel?
No, I was tuning into the energy of the group when you were guiding meditation, and it was just really awesome to connect with people as souls and kind of say hello to everybody, and that'll be joining us. And I saw a lot of women plop in our circle and put on your crown and just own your space. And so it
Yeah.
was cool to see that and feel into the community we'll create together.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. And there is a community from the last class and women are working together and everybody's in touch and some people, some women are coming to the workshop, some of them are teaching their own. So it's a great community of awakening women. I would say our intention is really to cooperate as opposed to compete. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna leave it here. Thank you so much, Mel, for taking time. This was a
You're
bit
so
longer than
welcome.
I planned, but it was amazing. So we just go with it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.